Hi, it's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So 3 things that I wanted to talk about this week. The first is something that's fairly straightforward, but still significant. And that is the city extended its lease with PACE, People Acting in Community Endeavors, a very effective social services agency in the city, for the former Green School, which is just south of the downtown, to provide childcare. PACE has been doing the Head Start program, which is a major federally funded health childcare program for many, many years. And after some period of negotiation, we've extended the lease for the use of that building, which is really a great resource for the city. It serves over 250 students who are all under the age of 5, little ones, to really give them, in the most literal sense, a head start. So that's something that we've been working on for a while, and I just wanted to say thanks to PACE for that work, but also just let everybody know that this is a real mainstay of our early childhood education work in the city. And early childhood education is so important to make sure, again, every kid gets off to a really good start, gets off to a running start to school. The second thing I want to talk about, again, this is also sort of in the weeds, a little policy wonkish, but still really important, and that has to do with the leasing of scallop permits. As we all know, New Bedford is the #1 fishing port in America by far, and most of what we catch, most of what we land in terms of just the sheer value of the catch are scallops, of course. This is the scallop capital of the world, and so when there is policies proposed for the scallop industry, we have to take a real close look at them. There is currently a proposal to allow for scallop boats to effectively combine their permits. And the rationale is that scallop boats don't go out all year long. They go out usually about roughly 70 days a year on average, give or take. And so by combining permits, the boats on which those permits were combined can go out longer, and not to catch any more fish, but than they otherwise would, but essentially to reduce the cost of having more vessels go out with more crews going out. It sounds logical, but it's really something that is being pushed by the larger scallop companies to reduce costs and enhance profits. The downside, the big downside, is the potential for fewer crews, meaning fewer fishermen, fewer jobs on the waterfront. And it could also mean that some of the shoreside businesses get squeezed as well. And we have so many shoreside businesses that support the fishing industry. And then third, there's the potential that these permits, once they're combined, they're easier to sell off to Wall Street investors. And we've seen some of that in the last 10 years on the waterfront, where private equity from Wall Street comes in and buys up either boats or facilities or both, and operating companies. And we have to be wary about that. The fishing industry still is largely a family-owned, an industry comprised of family-owned businesses. And that's the way we really want to keep it. If capital, right, the ownership's here, it means that the people who run those businesses will care about this place, as opposed to somebody from the outside who's probably not going to care about New Bedford as much. So I've voiced my opposition to this change. The scallop fishery is America's most profitable. I think they should leave well enough alone, and we're going to continue to advocate against this change so that we can continue to succeed here, not only for the folks who own the boats, but also everybody who fishes. Commercial fishermen should be paid well for given the skill that's required of them, the hard work they put into it, and the risk they bear in going out to sea. So all these things are things we're considering, and that have to be considered as part of this policy decision. The last thing I'll just say, just transitioning to this weekend, which is Memorial Day weekend. The good news is that the great news is that this year, everything's back to normal. All the events that we have enjoyed being part of over the years are back in play. And so you can take a look at the city's website for all of them. The biggest ones, of course, are the Memorial Day Parade, which will start off, kick off at 11:30 at New Bedford High School and go down Parker Street all the way down to Klasky Common, where there'll be a speaking program, a brief speaking program. I encourage everybody to come on out and encourage people to bring their kids to this event so that they can see the reverence with which our city holds those who've served in the military, and especially those who've lost lives in service of our country. And then secondly, a uniquely New Bedford memorial service, and that's the Fisherman's Memorial Service on Pier 3. It's something I personally have attended since I was a kid. It's a very moving experience. It pays tribute, of course, to the fishermen from New Bedford who have been lost at sea over the years. We're looking at good weather. We usually get good crowds at these things, and we encourage everybody to come on out. It's been a while since we've been able to have normal Memorial Day activities, and so we want to bring everybody together for this very important occasion. With all that, I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you next week.